The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9?
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2. And it brings up second down.
Williams going to get it again on second down.
And he'll be corralled right around the 34. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
They'll stay on the ground with Williams. Tackled on the play by Tariq Castro-Fields.
If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here.
And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49.
Now Wilson on 1st down. It's caught on the right side. Williams.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
And down to the 44, 5 yards that time. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Now Wilson.
Got an open man here, and it's K.J. Hamler.
And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 24-yard line. They'll give it to Gordon out of the shotgun. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield.
Multiple players combined for their team's 1st sack of the game.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get out to the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their 1st one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep...
Touchdown, Broncos!
Javonte Williams.
His 6th touchdown of the season.
And the Broncos are on the board first here this afternoon. Nathaniel Hackett told his offense to stay put. They're going for 2.
Wilson going to throw for it.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Kyler Gordon picks it off.
It's interesting that when it comes to 2-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off.
Fields it right around the goal line.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30.
Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10.
Right at the 30.
And they'll run the option to start the drive.
And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. Now Fields. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Kareem Jackson.
And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown.
Javonte Williams, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Russell Wilson now will bring his guys up to go for 2. They'll try and throw for it.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
So now, Charles, 2 touchdowns, 2 tries at 2-point conversions, and both fail.
And you want to say, let's go ahead and run the kicker out there from now on. But the problem is you're chasing points at this stage. So now you got to dial up more 2-point conversions and hope you're successful from here on out.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
Charles, it's kind of gut check time. Look, I know it's early, first quarter, just their 2nd drive of the game, but they've already thrown the interception, given up the score. You're down double digits. They got to figure out something, and pretty quickly here.
No doubt about it. And when we look at that sideline, I'm sure you're observing the same thing I am. I don't like the body language at all. They look like they're in a state of stunned disbelief. So to me, we always talk about someone stepping up and making a big play. I think it would behoove them if multiple guys step up and make big plays right now. They need something positive to happen, and they need for it to happen now.
It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Off play action, Fields.
Looking downfield for Jones.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Ronald Darby.
And the Broncos are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
Well, they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the 2nd time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
After the interception, here's Wilson.
Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy.
This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown.
So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage right there. I'm going to add another word if you don't mind. How about perfection? No surprise that they're leading right now. Absolute dominance throughout this ball game and no signs of slowing down.
Nathaniel Hackett told his offense to stay put. They're going for 2.
They go read option with Wilson. And he is not going to get in there. He stops short of the goal line, and the lead is going to stay right where it is. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Just the one misstep for them in the first half of the season. 7-1 is the record at the midway point. And in terms of whatever power rankings you want to go by, they're at or near the top of the list in terms of best teams in the National Football League.
And for me, in my little bit of rankings here, I've got them at the top. I know there's still 2 months to go, and we've seen teams get off to hot starts and then fade away due to injuries or the schedule or whatever. But unless there are a rash of injuries on this team, I'd be surprised if they aren't a first or a second seed come playoff time.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports.
With the score, Broncos 18, Bears nothing.
Now a first down throw, Fields. He'll find Jones again, complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2 at their 48-yard line.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. Play action. It's Fields. Throw left side complete. That's Connor. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 23 yards the pickup there.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they're having panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Catch is made by Arcega-Whiteside. Touchdown, Bears! J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. A 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Bears get a bit closer.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that'll make this now an 11-point deficit. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Eddie Jackson picks it. And the Bears are going to take possession of the football.
And Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football, because remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
A play fake, now Fields to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Off the option, here's Jacobs.
He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Trying to run for it with Jacobs.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss.
A give, it's Jacobs off the option.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields.
Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown.
Velus Jones.
His first touchdown on the year.
And the Bears have cut it back within a score.
Santos with the extra point, and the lead is down to 4. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Now it's Wilson. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And this one is incomplete.
That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming 3rd down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of the momentum the other side is starting to gain.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Now it's Wilson.
Got a man complete. It's Hamler. And he will have a Broncos 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right. On 1st down, Wilson.
They're going right back to Hamler. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. Wilson will throw again. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Wilson. He'll go up top here for Hamler. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Play action. It's Wilson. Flushed, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
The competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, sometimes an incompletion is the right play. And he showed that he's learned from his earlier interception on that throw. Instead of forcing it, he just tossed it away.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Bears going to see the football first, and they trail here as we get back underway to start this 2nd half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the 3rd quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the 2nd half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the 3rd quarter.
Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the 2nd level.
He got 29 yards that time. Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now, hotly contested in the 3rd quarter. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively. But they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
Off the option, here's Jacobs. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
A give. It's Jacobs off the option.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a 1st down. They ran it and picked it up.
Touchdown! J.J. Arcega-Whiteside with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year.
And the Bears have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the 2nd half.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that gives him a 3-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
And, Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, 1-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth, almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just, our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side, trying to match each other.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. They stick to the ground game on 1st down. It's Williams. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. A throw over the middle, taken in. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down. To throw is Wilson.
This is Hamler on the receiving end. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 46. Now Wilson.
He'll go up top here for Hamler.
And incomplete on the deep ball.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. He's going to let it go again. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver.
So a very strong first drive in the second half, Charles, as they've turned that halftime deficit into a 3rd quarter lead.
And they were pretty purposeful there, weren't they? Measured in their approach. But, boy, they executed awfully well moving the ball down the field.
They'll look to throw. And he'll get into the end zone to make it a 5-point game. So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes could prove risky there. It worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
On the return, it's Tristan Ebner from his end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
On 1st down, they go with Jacobs again. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
On play action, Fields.
Looking downfield for Jones. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete.
And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
We have seen big plays from both quarterbacks throughout this game, and there's another one right there. Going back and forth, almost like two excellent guitar soloists trying to top each other. With
touchdown Bears.
Velus Jones
with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Bears have taken the lead here in this 3rd quarter.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His 2nd touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. And in the 3rd quarter here, they were trying to push that to a 3-point game, but instead it'll stay at 1.
And I'm a big proponent of not chasing points or going for two too early. But in this case, I understand why. You know, if you kick an extra point, you're just up 2, right? So a field goal still puts the other team ahead. So you go for 2 here and protect the field goal lead. They didn't get it done, though.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
They'll send a receiver in motion left. To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that's caught inside the 35.
And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Eluding the pressure right.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Wilson flushed out right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
The kick by McManus is good.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Ebner going to elect to bring this out of the end zone here. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. 64 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
On first down, it's Fields.
And the Broncos get there and take him down. D. Ford in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Fields. Oh, Fields is intercepted for a 3rd time. And the Broncos are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos.
At their own 46.
He'll hand this to Williams to start things out.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. An ideal spot here to get a 1st down and try to run some more clock. And this is 2nd and less than a yard. Again, it's Williams. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. In motion goes the tight end. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down.
This pass caught by Hamler.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Denver has the 1st down, the play going for 15 yards. Here's Wilson to throw. Outright, this one goes to Patrick.
And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Back of the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield. But when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
On 2nd down, Williams. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. On 3rd down, Wilson being chased out left. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here.
So decision time now, because a field goal keeps it a 1-score game. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm looking at the down and distance, and that's where the issue comes in. It's not short enough that it's a no-brainer and you go for it. You have to analyze this one. To me, you take the field goal, take the points. I don't think you want to risk coming away with nothing.
4th down. Here's Wilson. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted.
And the Bears are right back in this football game.
A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
74 yards rushing for him now to this point.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29.
Off the option, here's Jacobs.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going.
A play fake, now Fields to throw.
They'll roll him out right. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
4th down. Fields has to have this one.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Wilson wants to throw it. He'll get this one to Patrick.
And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. They'll run it up the middle now. Gordon. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. He's got a man. It's Sutton. That's complete. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. Now Wilson. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Here's Wilson. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
And that touchdown, Charles, with very little time remaining, boy, it just sucked any energy and momentum out of the other sideline.
Yeah, take an incredible comeback in the final minute to bring this one back to even. A great series there offensively. They saw an opportunity to slam the window shut, and they followed through.
So they try to make it a 2-score game with a conversion. It pays off.
And they've looked at the situation, figured it out well. A 2-score game in this situation, they've got to feel much better about where they are.
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
2nd down, Jacobs once more.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down.
A give, it's Jacobs off the option.
And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the 1st down marker.
A higher scoring game, Charles, than we typically see in the National Football League, but fun to watch these offenses. They were really clicking. It seemed like everything that they dialed up worked.
Yeah, it certainly was fun to watch from our perspective. How'd you like to be those defensive coaches, though? That wasn't a blast for them at all. And let's face it, they all game plan, they all scout, they all think they're prepared. But executing and stopping teams, that's another matter entirely.
So for the Broncos, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3 on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for the Bears, it's just their 2nd loss so far to go along with their 7 wins. And they're going to get an extra week to stew over this as they're not back in action